Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Married Lifers.
Welcome to Married Lifers. It's Greyhound. And my co-host, bad business, besides the
And he's on the phone. He looks like he's in an intense phone call.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Everybody was good.
So
I put the step up account here shortly, just so you can tell.
I posted a video on Wednesday talking about the Colorado Department of Corrections Citizens Advocate Meeting that we talked about. Did you want to touch on that, babe?
Yeah. And I gotta say, me and my Sally's been miserable for the last couple of days because they took a PlayStation.
You're so fucking extra, dude.
So we're doing real prison time.
You're doing hard time?
Yeah.
You're so dumb.
Sally said it was worse than waiting for his verdict, his guilty verdict.
You guys are both fucking extra.
Yeah, it was worse than him waiting on his verdict. We're going through it, you know. We're going through withdrawals. PlayStation life is real.
Is it? I wonder what, I'm curious what's going on with Daniel, because he's in like an intense phone call. He's not even paying attention to nothing. I don't even think he realizes we're on.
Okay. This past week, my wife went to this meeting. What was it called? The Citizens Advocate Meeting?
Yeah, the Citizens Advocate Meeting.
Yeah, Citizens Advocate Meeting. So they got to go they went to the women's prison and had a meeting with all the wardens across the state, the director, the assistant director, and something called constituent services to discuss like different issues at different joints and shit. So hold on real quick. I got to set up the account. Hold on.
Here, Tay. So he's just talking about that video that I posted on Wednesday at the Citizens Advocate Meeting. Like he said, we go and talk to, well, it's the whole administrative team, and then all the wardens, assistant wardens, parole, anybody you could think of, the healthcare team. Everybody's there discussing issues and answering questions that we as a public have for them regarding what's going on in the prison. So he kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit because he got to, you know, a lot of the questions that were asked were his questions. A lot of questions that were answered in there were the questions that they were asking in there. Did anybody have any questions about that meeting?
All right, I'm back.
Okay. If you did, there's a lady that posted underneath that video and she leaves her email address and she has a lot of knowledge. So if you want to reach out. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead and keep talking about the meeting.
A meeting is where you went to. Like I said, it was a whole bunch of different people that from the prisons and shit that our families got to specific questions to ahead of time, and then afterward they let them ask other questions on top of that, and then talk to the wardens from the different prisons and shit. So, of course, I submit a bunch of questions to ask about different things, different issues that we got, or questions that we want answered and shit like that. So my wife went and represented me when I asked a whole bunch of questions and shit. And she got to talk to the warden. We got a new warden. I haven't met him. I haven't seen him. I hear different things, so I really don't know much about them. I just hear some stuff, and what I heard so far is good. I don't know how true that is. You know what I mean?
Hey,
you know,
you hear me?
Yeah.
What's up?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear us
Can
at
you hear
all?
me?
Yeah, we could hear you.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Uh,
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? What's
Say
up now?
something.
can you hear me now?
Can't hear you.
I was wondering why. I'm like, I don't even think he realizes we're on.
I can't. Oh, never mind. Go ahead. Say something.
Can you hear me now?
I forgot to turn the volume down. No, so that was YouTube. That was YouTube right there calling me about my live streams. There's well, the guy personally watches my shit and he likes my shit. He really appreciates it, really likes my channel, whatever. But I'm getting a lot of reports on threats towards the president or the former president or whatever. So they're saying, so he is asking me to be mindful of that, and a lot of other shit that was talked about. But he was saying how there's an overwhelming amount of activity on my channel, especially within the chats, and that they're getting a lot of people. I mean, I know where it's coming from. He knows where it's coming from. It's like when I pointed out, you know, these personal vendettas between these different YouTube channels and whatnot. They know exactly where it's coming from. You know what I mean? In spite of people using VPNs or whatever, they can trace it. You see what I'm saying? They know where all this is coming from. You know what I mean? So they're giving me a lot of leeway and a lot of it. You know what I mean? It's just the only thing he told me is to watch any personal threats. You know what I mean? I can speak freely. I can say whatever the fuck I want about whoever I want, however I want, but I just can't make any direct threats. And that's the thing about it. Is like they found no direct threats. Nothing I said was a direct threat. So, but
That's fine.
Yeah.
Babe, I don't know if you got up close to the mic again, but you keep getting distorted. I hate these tablets, dude. You sound clear now.
2024. That's all I'm saying.
Shut up.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that, fool.
So we were talking about the Citizens Advocate meeting that I went to on Wednesday.
Oh man.
Did you watch that video I posted Wednesday?
I watched like a couple minutes of it and I got distracted. Actually, I got a call and I haven't had a chance to yet since, but I watched some of it.
It was funny because I had my friends get on there and watch it. Well, they needed the information anyways, but one of them was like, gee, you look so happy. I'm like, I was so exhausted, dude. I kept losing. It was late at night. I was exhausted. That meeting was super long. We were supposed to be out of the meeting because it's held at the Denver Women's Prison in their visiting room.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to be out of the prison by 4:00 because they have count, and we weren't even done. So I left in the middle of count.
So what was said and done? What happened?
There was a lot of questions asked from, the families about things that are going on in the prison. Like, for example, I asked them why it takes so long for them to get seen by the eye doctor, an eye exam. It took my husband 1.5 years, and he kept putting in request after request after request. So they got a new contract, stuff like that. A lot of medical information was given out, like the way they're going to be changing up the way medical's done out here.
Yeah.
And then it was a lot of stuff. I had asked me and my husband came up with the question that they made a big thing about normalization out here.
Yeah.
And I guess they're trying to make that a big goal, but they're starting with the COs. with retraining them and stuff like that. So that's good because we have a lot of issues, but a lot of things were covered. Last time I was out there by like 3:30, so it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, the good thing, that's always telling the ladies too, like in all our group, it's really beneficial if they try to make those meetings, because afterwards the wardens have to stay there, and you go find your warden and you stand there and talk to them. So that's what I was telling them, like, it's not like email. They can't just ignore you and act like they never got it. Like, you're up in their face, like, why is this happening? What's going on with this? And they have to answer you. And then the executive director of the prisons pulled me to the side to talk to me because I got angry during the meeting. And I was talking about the accountability on the CO side. And so I had a conversation one-on-one with him about stuff that's going on in the system, in the prisons here.
About the staff.
Yeah, it was, yeah, because that was the accountability thing with that, what that lieutenant had did to my husband in the previous facility.
What did he say?
He asked me to forward him the emails that I had sent out when all that stuff first went down. Because they have that CO or lieutenant, whatever the fuck she is, on recording on the phone call while I'm talking to my husband, and she's saying racist shit. And she's cussing at him and stuff. And like, yeah, it was crazy. The warden pulled the call and heard everything. So I'm like, you can't sit here and say that you guys don't know what's going on, because he fucking knew. He told me he pulled the call. I have it on recording on my end. Like, come on. But you guys want to claim that you hold them accountable. And he kind of pissed me off at first, because he's like, it's like your kids. If you discipline your kids, you're not going to go in public and tell everybody how you disciplined your kids. So I'm not going to do the same when I discipline my staff. And I go, okay, we don't need to know exactly what you did, but we know nothing's being done. And he was like, I beg to differ. And I was like, you could beg to differ all you want. It's the truth, because even if you didn't tell us how you disciplined them, we would see it by the change. We would see change in it, in what's going on. And there's never any change. That same lieutenant's there, the same lieutenant's harassing other people. And I was telling my husband, like, I wish they could be a part of all of our groups, just to see, like, just to be a fly on the wall to see what we talk about, because it's just not one CO. It's not just one family complaining. It's multiples. You know what I mean? So you can't say, oh, this was just one isolated incident. It's not fucking one isolated incident. And so he's like, let me look into this. Let me look into that. And I'm like, they see me at the last meeting, and the old warden from our facility, as soon as he see me start talking, he looked right at me and was like shaking his head, like he already knew I was going to go off, because I went off last time.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything before it hangs up on you, baby? Babe. Did you want to say anything before it hangs up on you? Because it's going to be a minute before you can call back.
I know.
He got count right now.
Yeah. It just said 1 minute. So once that 1 minute's up, it hangs up and he can't call back until count's over. So Alexander said, yeah, I'll read the comments when it hangs up. Well, Alexander said that's what our wrenches are for.
Yeah.
And then Perry's, yeah, because he got wrenches on his channel. I don't have them on our channel because we go on through StreamYard.
Yeah.
And Daniel goes on through YouTube.
Goodbye.
So it's different. Perry said, what's up, Daniel? How have you been, bro? Sir. Sir, focus. Perry said, what's up, Daniel? How have you been, bro?
I'm good. Hold on. I'm dealing with the shit right now. I'm still getting texts and shit.
You and my husband get on my nerves. You guys can't multitask for shit. Alexander said, damn, they just loading threats, ground, or low treating ground, and you guys like shit, huh? That's some fucked up shit. Low trading ground. Ramon Mesa's on. Kilo been off the scene, health issues, but Bad Boy Greyhound, Miss Lady Schultz. That's it. I hope you're doing better, Ramon. I seen you were in the hospital yesterday.
That's the fucking cops.
Who's the cops?
That was the cops.
Texting you?
That's the feds. That wasn't just the feds.
How do they text you? That's weird.
Dude. That's the funny thing about it. You know, I understand very well the scrutiny that I'm under. I was placed under the Department of Homeland Security investigation for being the co-author of a how-to back in 2018.
Well, don't make it mean, I'm sure.
I pose a special kind of threat to our national security.
Don't be talking about down here and getting me in no kind of shit. Harry Ochoa said, "Wrong 100. What's your channel about?" So originally, me and my friend started this channel. Her husband's also doing life. That's why it's called Married Lifers. We were talking about the stigma that comes along with being in relationships. And then my husband, the Wrong 100, started with my husband telling his story of who he is, where he's from. You know, people asking questions about what he was involved in and stuff like that. You want to elaborate more on that, Daniel? Or did I say it good enough?
It's your channel. I'm going to explain your channel.
No, I'm talking about my husband's part, smart ass.
Well, it's not Wrong 100 with Greyhound. It speaks for itself.
Well, it's my husband telling his story, just where he's from, what he was a part of. You know what I mean? People wanted to know about him and his story. I mean, that's the best way to put it.
Yes, it's Wrong 100 with Greyhound. Whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to ask him, we want to get to. It just depends on whether or not he wants to. I mean, it's Wrong 100 with Greyhound. I don't know how else to explain it. There ain't much else.
No, I mean, that's the way to explain it. I was talking about his story part because I don't like talking about.
Well, he's doing natural life. He's doing natural life for killing the highest ranking member of the Arizona Mexican Mafia to turn government protected witness. You know, I don't know how you classify him. You know what I mean? I don't. He's out of state, so I don't see him actively involved with none of the shit. You know what I mean? He never debriefed. He never fucking none of that. The threat that he poses to this state, to the state prison system here, is the reason he's on interstate compact, and that has a lot to do with, you know, those powers that be at play now. You know, using law enforcement, using the police to aid in their takeover, because otherwise they still would have problems. But I don't know.
Yeah. I don't like talking about that part of it. That's why I deferred to you with that. But he said, "Oh, okay, are you from AZ?" I'm not from Arizona. I'm from Colorado. My husband's from Arizona. Daniel's from Arizona. My husband's doing Arizona time, but he's interstate compact transfer. So he's in Colorado with me. If that answers your question.
Oh man, this shit is funny.
It's always drama, dude. It's funny because you get on YouTube and it's drama. You get on TikTok and it's drama. It's like, damn, doesn't everybody have anything better to do? I'm
saying, man, like, you know, the irony for me is like, I'm such a public figure here. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I am such a public figure here that, and I got the heart to go any motherfucking where. So it's like, it shows to me how scary motherfuckers are, even though they want to project themselves to be these boogeymen or whatever. They want to project themselves to be more than what they are. The fact of the matter is that you know, I got motherfuckers that have to act like this in order to fucking get somewhere. And it's like, what's the problem, dude? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm not on this motherfucker trying to be a celebrity. I do what I say I do. I actually in the field. I'm actually advocating. I'm actually trying to make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm actively doing it. Whereas you get people that are locked in a fucking box. They can't go outside. They have no public face. You know what I mean? They can't run it. They can't do that. They can never meet with no kids in the community, no at-risk youth, and fucking make a difference. You know what I mean? So what do? They got to play these games, these insecure games, in order to get somewhere. You know what I mean? And it's comical to me because, like, dude, I've been on the type of fucking surveillance I'm under for the longest time. Ain't nobody need to tell me none of that shit. I don't trip about none of it. Listen, man, my identity, I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of it. Motherfucker have my social security number. It don't matter. You takes nothing from me. Nothing. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just always funny. It's funny to me, man. Like, but how I got these motherfuckers acting, you know what I mean? They'll turn on their channels and they want to put on a whole different impression. But behind the scenes, they come on my shit doing what they do. They go so far out of their way, you know what I mean? To fuck, dog. It's all good. It's all good.
When you get reported, like say somebody reports your live or whatever, do they tell you who's reporting it? Like, do you get the information on who's reporting you?
No.
Or is it anonymously?
Nah, usually like the videos that they've taken down of mine, like they took one down the other day that I posted at all Trump supporters, and because I guess it was threatening. I don't know. You know what I mean?
No, I
Like,
ask you that because on TikTok, like whenever you report somebody, you know what I mean? Like they tell that person that so-and-so reported their comments or reported their live. And that would be nice here. Like when people do weird shit on here, they should let you know who it is. You know what I mean? So you could blast them, because at the end of the day, like, why, as a grown man, are you doing shit like that? Or a grown woman, you know what I mean?
right. It's funny to me, like, you know, motherfuckers think having my email address or having my address or having my fucking phone number matters. It don't matter if you ain't gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck. It poses no threat. I keep trying to tell people, Gaga, you ain't getting near me. You ain't fucking with me. But that's what bothers them the most, is that they can't fuck with me. They can't touch me. They can't see me in any shape, fashion, or form. Intellectually, physically, they can't. They just want to front. You know what I mean? And I say what the fuck I want. That's period. Listen, I don't give a fuck about YouTube. If these motherfuckers want to take me off YouTube, they can eat a dick and take me off YouTube. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna stop because a motherfuckers are sensitive and feel a type of way about what I say and do. I wouldn't give two fucks about them. You know what I mean? Because I know the influence and impact that I'm having here. Otherwise I wouldn't be dealing with bullshit like that if I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? If what I'm saying and doing wasn't true and it wasn't having a great impact as it is, the motherfuckers wouldn't be bothered by it. You know what I'm saying? It's like motherfuckers trolling me and want to bring up other motherfuckers. They get all mad, talking about you can be like so and so, whatever. It's like, but you're watching me. You sitting
That's
there.
what I'm saying. Like, if you don't like somebody, then why are you watching their channel? Like, just don't. There's some people on here that I can't stand. I do not watch their shit.
I don't even find a lot of that shit entertaining anymore when it used to be entertaining to me to watch. It's like, it's not even entertaining no more because I know that they're a bunch of little punks. I know how weak these fools are. They think that their neighborhood or that they've been to prison and all this shit matters. Bitches, stop. You bitches are in hiding. You ain't going outside. You ain't gonna never walk and talk like I do. So all these motherfuckers sitting in cars hiding, sitting in their fucking studios hiding, you know what I mean? And then having to need all kind of protection and safety and all kind of other shit. Man, dude, there's a stark contrast between a motherfucker that sits there by himself out at a park where everybody has access to and he's gonna say what the fuck he wants about whoever he wants. And ain't nobody did shit yet. So like, you know what I mean? Like, I get that there's people who are so insecure that bothers them. That it truly gets under their skin that they cannot come outside. Why? Because they fucking snitched. Because they debriefed. Because these motherfuckers know they can't. They'll get got, they try to go out in public. And the same motherfuckers try to call me all kind of out of my names, try to put me in that same category with them until now we find out. And it's the last thing they wanted was Greyhound to come out and tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because they were riding that wave for so long. For so long, they rode that fucking wave and sitting there trying to act like, man, bitch, please. I always knew the truth. I always know the truth. See, and it's the same. It's the same with Greyhound, and that's why, like that's my brother. That's why we've always gotten along so well because he's the same way.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like he's the same way. Like he's.
Well, I know. But if you really know my husband's story, know everything, like it's like he's always been tried to. They pushed him out of the state to try to keep the story the way they want it to keep it. You know what I mean?
Listen,
you have to know all the details to understand what I'm saying.
I look. I brought Greyhound into myself. You know what I mean? Close to me, like I did because he's like me. You understand what I'm saying? He can lead his own. You know what I mean? He's not one that need to come to me for a motherfucking thing. He can handle his own. You see what I'm saying? I want people next to me that can lead, not follow. I don't want yes men around me. That shit makes me uncomfortable. Those are the most likely motherfuckers to stab you in the back, to get a patch on credit and turn around 3 months later and tell.
To be honest with you, that's anybody. You be finding motherfuckers that you think are solid and got your back, and they're the weakest link. Like, I don't trust anybody at this point. Like,
I know better. You know what I mean?
I've been seeing so much fuckery going on, and I keep talking about TikTok. I have friends, and I'm like, it's annoying, dude. You can't trust no fucking buddy nowadays.
I trust.
Like our DMX, circle is so small, it's not even funny.
I'm like DMX. I trust them to be their self.
Mm-hmm. I
trust them to be who they are. Like
Perry Ochoa said. So this guy's the wrench on yours. You know him? Perry Ochoa.
Yeah, he got some good yeah.
So he said he used to know about it. I used to live in Thornton. Wait, is he? Are you in AZ, Perry? If you don't mind me asking. I want to know his take on the weather between the two, because I'm always talking shit about it, and that's somebody else that knows our weather, and then your guys' crazy ass fucking weather.
It rained yesterday overnight and shit, but yeah, I don't even know that we have record breaking number of 100 degree temperatures. We're like 100.
Always have record breaking shit. This shit is gross out there.
I'm talking about 100 consecutive days of 100 degrees. That's nearly a third of the year.
I know.
You know what I
keep
mean?
up with the weather out there because I'm always telling my husband.
But the difference is like we have better weather year round, because year round you can, depending on what climate you come from, our winters you can wear shorts. You get people that come from Minnesota and shit like that, really colder climates, they move out here and you'll see them in shorts, sometimes with a hoodie during that. Like, we have really good weather otherwise, you know what I mean? Like, it just once it starts getting hot, your ass is in the devil's booty hole getting farted out.
Ramon said something earlier. He said, "There's suck a fish, Brother Brown. Get a grip, tell him. And thanks, Miss Schultz. I'm doing so-and-so." I'm glad I seen your post and I was telling my husband about it. Then he said, "Gross, LOL. It's beautiful." So it's beautiful sometimes, but when it's 119 or 117 degrees out there, no thank you. I don't like the 90 degrees weather's out here. That's gross to me. So I don't mean the scenery. I'm talking about just strictly the weather is ridiculous.
I don't think we've seen 119 this year, though.
Right now it says 102 in Phoenix.
Huh?
Yes, I seen 119. Dude, I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know if we've seen
like right now where my husband is, it's 101.
It's
you did, dude. I'm telling you, I seen it and sent it to my husband. I was like, what the fuck? And then there was 117 too one day. They weren't next to each other, but you know what I mean? Like it was, because I look at the weather every day. My husband's like, is it going to rain today? What's going on? So I have where my husband's at, I have Phoenix, and then I have where I'm at. So where I'm at, it's only 92 and it's disgustingly hot and it's gross, sir. I don't mean the state in general. I mean the weather in general. And your guys is hot is.
No, we haven't. We didn't see.
Sorry.
We didn't see 100. We didn't see that high this year. The high was 116.
Yeah, I swear I thought I seen it because some girl posted a video with it too, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
No.
But still, 116 degrees, dude. Like that's abnormal. Like who can live in that? Y'all are crazy as fuck out there. I think that's why you got so many crazy people from out there because your guys' brains are roasted.
Yeah, like this shit.
But
like I just posted a video. I just posted a video yesterday, a news clipping where there's a road rage shooting caught on camera. Some chick with a kid in the car shoots at another for a Tesla with fucking a baby in the car because she felt that they cut her off when they were merging. Yeah, like it's bad. Like that shit be happening too frequently out here. That shit all the time. I'd be like that too. I'm in a rush to get the fuck out that shit.
It's that sun. It's baking everybody's brain out there. It's hot as fuck, dude. Perry, are you on with us? I think he just got back on. I'm not sure. I want his take on it if he's out there with you guys. Did you fix it, baby? Sorry, my daughter's here fixing my electricity. The fucking bathroom wire. Like I went to turn the switch on the other night and it was hot. And then I forgot about it the next day when I came home from visit. I was so tired. I turned the light switch on and I smelled burning. So I started panicking because I thought the wires were on fire in the wall. And sure enough, they were. So our daughter had to come today to fix all the wiring in the bathroom and that side of my house. Yeah, you guys get fried. I mean, my daughter went out there for the weekend. She came back with a pretty tan. I'm like, I could go out there and deal with it for 2 days. But that's probably about it as long as I can go because that's just too hot. Last year we went in September, towards the end of September, and it was still hot as fuck out there. What would you say is the best time to go out there, Daniel, where it's not crazy hot and it's just a good
fall, autumn,
a good warm?
Autumn, fall.
So what, like October, November-ish?
Yeah.
Because we went at the end of September last year. I was with Petunia, and it was ridiculous. It was hot as fuck.
It depends if you want it cooler or like you're going into that period. It's cooler, but like you go into springtime, you're starting to go into the summer season. So it's hard to explain. Like it's just cooler. It's not hot enough. Like the temperatures are average, but like I said, you're going into the summer from that period. So it's perfect weather. It's perfect weather in springtime here. But like I said, it's like the difference between fall and spring is fall is cool, spring is warm. You understand? The temperatures are virtually the same. A lot of people don't understand that. The temperatures are virtually the same in degrees, you know what I mean? Except one is going down, one is coming up. You see what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
here we don't it don't
I
snow.
understand. So I don't know at that point where I understand crazy, but yeah, it makes sense. So that's my favorite time of the year here is the spring and the fall, because like now it's turning fall. And if you go onto the mountains or you drive in certain areas here, like the trees are all turning colors. So all you see is all these trees that are like orange and gold and brown and green. It's like all the colors. It looks so pretty. And then it's nice and cool. Like it's still warm. It's still like, you know, decent warmth, but it has a cool breeze to it. Spring's the same type of thing. But Arizona is just wild, dude, with the heat. Like I can't. We went in July one year. That shit was the worst ever. And then we went in September. And that shit was still hot as fuck. Like you guys be roasting out there. And I don't know. I don't understand how you guys have construction workers and shit out there. Did you hear my daughter? She said, fuck that.
They're not like us. Listen, you see these dudes out here doing construction, that shit don't bother them one single bit.
That's what I'm saying. There's no fucking way, dude. I see construction workers out here and we're like 95 and I'm like, ugh.
It's like I'm out there at Tempe Town Lake. It's 110 degrees. I'm out there walking around and shit. You know what I mean? I'm clocking 5 miles, and there's people running even further distances than I am, and riding bikes even further distances than I am. People kayaking further distances than I am in that heat. So it's listen. When I'm trying to go from point A to point B, and I'm not considering going out, I'm not like fitted to go out, be out and walk, do all that other shit, then yeah, I don't want to be out I don't even want to be out in my car and the shit. You know what I mean? Especially driving, because motherfuckers are some irritated ass drivers around here. But otherwise, like, it's what are you gonna get? Sunburn? You understand? Like, what's gonna happen to you? Get them out?
Well, you got dark. If you look at our videos when we first started, you were like light complected like me, and now like you almost match your shirt. Like you're dark. You got dark as fuck for the summer. Yeah, my husband gets like that too. I always say that. Like he'll be outside doing the sweat lodge all day, and he comes in and he's like so dark, so jealous. Our daughter got that from because she's like that too. She's out there for an hour or two, and she comes in with a pretty brown color.
That's the Apache in me. Yeah, light skinned people usually don't like the heat. They don't like the sun. You guys turn apple red.
Light skinned people.
You guys turn apple red.
Yes. I went out with my girls. We went swimming and I was out for a couple hours and I got so burnt. My daughter comes the next day. She's like, "Oh my God, Mom, you look like a lobster." I had suntan oil on, sunscreen. I don't know how the fuck I burnt, but I was in pain. Yeah,
you don't want to put some lotion on. That's not good. You need to get you some SPF and make sure you're well protected. You can't. You're not like us.
I was spraying the suntan spray everywhere. I was trying to get a color.
I tell you what, I rather an Arizona summer than a Colorado winter.
Nah, fuck no. Because like me, like they changed our job to working at home. So I was just throwing the heater and it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, but you can't go outside. I can go outside.
Yes, I can go outside. I can bundle the fuck up and go outside. I got to bundle up and shovel snow. My husband's not home.
Fun. Do this shit. That's not fun. You can't.
Why? It's a workout.
Snow when it's snowing. Dust your boots off. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. You go tubing, you go skiing, you go snowboarding. You can do all kinds of shit.
I'm gonna just be inside, bundled up. That's it. I get outside when it's hot here. I don't mind. You know what I mean? I don't. Yeah, that don't. But
I guess it's because you're from there, so you're used to it.
I'm a winter baby. I'm born in February. I'm a winter baby. I love the cold. I just don't like snow. I'm not. Look, it snows too much. That's the thing about it. It's like snow, dude. Like it's snow. That's like trying to be out in the rain. No, like that's not. Yeah, but look, I can go, you know, for a weekend and go fucking snowball up in Flagstaff, but I ain't gonna live in it.
Not,
I ain't gonna live in that.
Send all my info still though on
let me, now that she got everything going, hold on real quick. Now that she got everything going back, I'll reprint it and then run it up to you guys.
Okay.
And I told her, all you need to do is take a picture over. But if we could do it fast, then when she wants to go see her dad in 2 weeks, then you can go with us.
Yeah.
So I'll print it out and I'll take it up there to you.
Okay.
If you want me to, I can fill all this out and then I just need you to sign it. Okay.
Okay.
I love you.
I'll see you.
Bye.
You too.
Thank you for fixing my electricity. Did you put all new wires in the bathroom?
No.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna look. I love you. Bye. Lock that door. Sorry, my daughter was leaving. Ramon said, ha, ha, Indian red, bad boy. Indian red. So I didn't read all these. Did you read these? What he was saying on here, Daniel?
No.
Lil Pow Pow? Read all of the messages Ramon was posting. He's funny. Who's texting you?
No, I'm texting somebody.
Okay, well, my husband's calling back, but I think we're gonna make this one not as long as usual because I gotta go mess with whatever my daughter did on the electricity. I gotta make sure it was all done right.
For ballots and rate votes, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hi, honey. Oh my God. I don't know what you're doing, but I don't understand one word you're saying. Babe, stop jacking around.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You just
First time I said, what up?
you just missed our child. She just left. The electricity is fixed.
Did you ask them what I said?
No, what did you say?
Oh my God. I'm moving back home.
Oh, I forgot.
What up with Daniel?
He's right here. He's texting.
Oh. You just podcasted.
Yeah. Did you hear him, Daniel?
No. Hold on, let me finish.
He said-
Daniel.
Hold up.
What up?
He's trying to text somebody. He's writing them a book, apparently. Anyways,
What's
babe,
going on?
nothing. We were just talking about one of Daniel's viewers that are on our page. He was asking what our channel is about. He said, Ron 100, what's your channel about? So you want to explain what our channel's about?
My channel is basically about a little bit of this, that, and the other. Obviously, my wife's on the streets. I'm doing a natural life sentence in the joint. This is year 25 I've been in the joint. Yeah. We talk about real prison life experiences, prison life issues, both dealing with relationships in and out. People know me and my backstory, so people have questions about my life in here. Let me be out here. He's from my neighborhood. We're from the same neighborhood. Technically, he's my big homie, but we both did time in the joint together, and we just chopped it up about a little bit of everything. But everything does center because I'm in prison. I'm doing a life sentence in prison, and on this bid right here, I'm already into year 25 on this prison. So yeah, that's what we chop it up about.
That's basically what I said.
All that.
I think. I feel like you said a little bit more, but you know.
Where's Uncle Daniel?
He's texting still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our daughter just left. She fixed the electricity. She rewired the bathroom. So you don't have to worry.
Yeah.
What? Oh, and Ramon Mesa's on with us, babe. We were just talking about the weather in Arizona. I was talking shit like per usual. Huh?
I didn't hear who you said.
Ramon Mesa? He hasn't been on with us for a while.
What's up, Ramon? Well, what's the weather like?
Out there, it's hot as fuck, per usual. Oh, are you done now, sir?
Yeah, we're being watched right. We're being watched right now.
By who?
A troll. It's all the
What
same.
troll?
I
don't understand that. Like, doesn't people have better things to do than to patrol?
Hey,
Like,
listen.
damn.
Listen, the person is just trying to trigger the conversation. My name's on it. I put my name on it, dude. Like,
I'm not seeing nothing come through, so it's not coming. If they're saying anything, I'm not seeing anything on my end.
No, don't worry about it. They're getting a kick out of it.
Anyway.
Oh, fuck. Hey, when you're me, there's a lot that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Daniel size. Matter of fact, Daniel Eugene size. For those watching, those that really want to know, my middle name is Eugene.
He's like all giving all his information out. I'm about to write down my social security and my address and shit.
Hey, motherfuckers act like I'm not a public record. Like, what the fuck? Okay. Oh shit.
Ramon said, "Cubo, brother Brown, babe."
Hey, Greyhound. It's the threat that we pose, bro. You know what it is. It's just plain and simple the threat that we pose. You know what I'm saying?
You know how it is. That's like we think we since we were kids.
Hey. Man. Hey, bro, it's funny out here, bro. It's not the same.
I wonder, babe, if out there in Arizona they have.
Hey, bro, listen. The caliber of what they call gangster out here is not the same, bro. Like these dudes, like
Dude, that's everything.
they're kind of playing. And listen, it's not just this younger generation. It actually happened with our generation. For as much as we did in our generation, there was just so many motherfuckers from our generation that turned out to be some weak motherfuckers, dog. And what they produced in return is children that are even weaker than themselves. You understand what I'm saying? So we have a really bad mix of shit out here, bro, where like they're not like us. They're not the type of motherfuckers that will go knock on your fucking door and air it out. They're not the type of motherfuckers that go looking for you or whatever. So I can't even go out in public, dog, and draw motherfuckers out to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but hey, the funny thing is I did that shit when I first got out in 2011. So you know what I mean? Like now to me, this shit is just comical. You know what I mean? It becomes a feature for me to just go out there and do that and be a clown motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yeah, you're gonna sit there and you want everybody to believe that you're a big cuckoo, you're big bad, you're gonna do this and that, but you ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing to me, huh? They don't want to face those consequences in real time. Hey, Greyhound, what you think?
What, babe?
I said, like you said, Twitter fingers.
I couldn't hear him.
He said,
What'd he
I
say?
think he said, like Drake said, trigger fingers turn into Twitter fingers or shit.
That's exactly what it is.
You're breaking up again, baby. You're getting real staticky. You'll be clear and then you're staticky. We got into this in on TikTok because there's some girls on there talking shit, and then they're like, they don't want to get it. They just want to talk shit. And I'm like, I was telling the homegirl when she called me all upset about what was going on. I'm like, the thing is these bitches think that they can't get touched because they're behind a screen, right? You're behind your phone, you're behind the computer, but we're all in the same community. Everybody goes to the same fucking visits. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense. Do you think because you're in a different state that they don't have friends in that state where your dude's doing time? Like, you don't think you'll ever run into somebody, but you steadily yap in your face and then you don't want to meet up. And it's like, it's aggravating, dude. And I get it with the girls. I don't get it with the girls.
But see, that's the thing for me.
I get it, but I don't get it. But with the guys,
see, that's a different story because you can address that then and there. Me, these people ain't gonna do that. Like I said, I can't even go out in the park and draw them out. I can draw them out into my chat. I can draw them into my chat and get them to fucking threaten and do all this other shit. You know what I mean? I can get them to go so far out of their way that they want to fucking be internet sleuths and shit. Like, but otherwise, they ain't gonna do nothing. You see what I'm saying? Hey, but there's a difference between.
It's just aggravating to me because everybody thinks that they can get on here and talk shit.
There's some females that ain't no killers, and some people that are supposed to be killers and gangsters and all this other shit that are men. There's a big difference there. You see what I'm saying? I'm dealing with men that act like those women. I'm dealing with some grown-ass men who've been to prison. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be in gangs, supposed to be killers and all this other shit. And they act like straight bitches. You know what I mean? But I get it. They can't come outside. They live in fear and loathing because they know they snitched. They know they debriefed. Hey, bro, you shouldn't have joined the gang. Like Frog said on Colors. You fucked up, little brother. You joined the gang. They should have done it. They should have tried to get it where they fit in, and they would have had that problem today. Fucked up, little brother. You joined the gang. Hey, bro, I'm telling you, it's different out here.
You have fun from colors.
Huh?
Baby, you keep going in and out, so we can't understand what you're saying.
Is he on the phone or is he on?
Could you hear him or no?
Is he on the phone or is he on the tablet?
He's on the phone.
He's
on the tablet. That's why he sounds muffled sometimes. Or
yeah, you know what you got to do? Sit that tablet on the desk.
You have to get on the phone. Can you go get on the phone? Yeah, because we can't understand what you're saying.
See, he's got what he's got to do is just sit the tablet down, so the speaker can be the speaker's out, and don't talk up to it. Don't hold that.
That's not how theirs does. They have to. That's not how it works for them. They have to plug in a headset, and the little mic that comes on your headset. That's what they have to use in order to use the phones. They're fucked up. That was a part of the meeting on Wednesday too. Yeah, but when he does it, he was explaining to me at Visit on Friday how he moves it around, and no matter what he does, like sometimes it'll come clear, sometimes it doesn't. It's just, I think it's the Wi-Fi in there. I don't know.
Yeah,
they have Wi-Fi, and if everybody should know Wi-Fi. Even in houses, sometimes Wi-Fi is fucked up. Could you imagine behind concrete and rebar and steel and all the shit that a prison's made out of? You know what I mean? They're struggling with that right now. So you got to keep in mind the tablets are new to us. We've only had them a couple of months. So we're going through like growing pains, if you will, with them.
Yeah, they need to have more routers.
So check this out. So the tablet says, so check this out. This was one of my questions. I talked to the head of Securus that deals with all Securus issues here in Colorado. He got up there and told us the other day, so I want to say like Monday or Sunday, they got a message. It was statewide, whatever their broadcast channel is for TV. And it says nobody's allowed to have their tablets outside of their cells. They have to stay in the cell. But then when you're on the phone and it says if you're having problems with your connection or hearing your phone calls, move out of the cell to the pod. So when I talked to that guy, I was like, you guys are contradicting. It says two different things. They're going to get in trouble if they go out their cell with the fucking tablet, but it's literally telling them to go out of the cell with their tablet. He's like, we're going through growing pains. We're trying to see how this is going to work. And he explained to me why. And I get it, but you're contradicting yourself, dude. Like that's the type of shit we're talking about when we're bitching and complaining about everything that's going on within the prison. I wonder if you guys in Arizona have the same thing we have with these meetings. Excuse me.
I don't pay no attention to it. I don't. My nephew just got locked up again, and stay your ass out. I'll see you when you get out. You know what I mean? Greyhound is the only person I interact with in prison and that I have any concern for that's in prison. You know what I mean? I share a personal relationship that's deep, and it's like, that's he's doing natural.
Well, that's my husband. I have to right now. Yeah. So I have to be his voice, and you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it helps everybody that's in prison here in Colorado when we speak up, when we talk. But that would be good for every state to have that. I appreciate our state for doing it.
Yeah, I know when I was last in there, they would have town.
Some real shit though, Daniel.
I don't know.
I know that you don't have interest in it because you don't deal with that anymore. But at the end of the day, any one of us can get locked up for dumbass reasons and be in the same situation. And if we ain't trying to make it better for the next person,
not me.
It's that, and that's the attitude that we struggle with other people. Because you should care. You should care about what's.
I don't face that potential.
You've seen how shitty it was when you were locked up.
I don't face that potential. I don't. It's not conceivable that I'll go back to prison. It's not. It's not. I'm at no risk for that. I'll die on these streets.
Do you know how fast you out of anybody knows how easy
I'll take a cop's gun and I'll shoot it. Listen, I will take a cop's gun and I will shoot him and kill him with his own shit. They'll have to kill me on these streets.
We'll say that on here.
That's why I live my life as I do. I don't put myself at risk for no reason, for no one to ever be going back there. So it's not a consideration of mine. I'm looking forward. Prison ain't in my future. Prison is nowhere near my future. I don't give no consideration that I did my time. You know what I mean? I'm not going back to it for nothing.
That's the sad part, because a lot of people think like you do and don't give a fuck what's going on behind the walls. But there's family, your family can end up there. You can end up there. Like, it's a possibility for anybody.
I have family
And
there.
for
That's what I
everybody
just
to have
told
that
you.
same
I
answer,
have-
like, you don't care.
I
Like,
have family there. I have family there, and I don't care. It's not going to change. Listen, I give them every advice, and I give them every example of what to do and what not to do. They're either going to take it or they're not. If they're going to put themselves at risk to go there, they're going to have to deal with the consequences. I don't give a fuck. Greyhound is the only one, and that will not change. It's not going to change. It won't. I will not give that kind of consideration to it because I don't go there. This is the only time I go there. I only go there with Greyhound. That's it. And you see, I give the best advice that I can give. I do whatever I can for him as I am. I can't do any more than that. That's for you guys to do. That's not for me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I
that's
can
for
make
everybody.
stuff,
Like,
and
it's
I can
for
give-
everybody. Dude, the
I
system
can give
stuff.
advice, but you know, the reality of it is like, see, it's different with Greyhound because of the history that we have. It's personal. You understand what I'm saying? It's not with nobody else. He's doing natural life, and I know why. I
Exactly.
understand
That's what
why.
I'm trying to get at.
But with the rest, no, it ain't. I got family in there. I got family in there. I got friends that I grew up with since we were babies in there.
It's sad that people think like that, because that's why they always say even one voice. We keep adding that, and that'll make changes. It's not going to make changes with everybody having that same pig-headed, you know what I mean, thought, like stubbornness. Like, I don't care. I'm not going to deal with it.
I'm not.
Like, there's so many people that are in there that don't belong there. I mean, there is a lot that do belong there, but there's a lot that don't. And the system's fucked up. They're treated bad.
I did time with
At the
three
end of the day, that's
people.
what it is.
I did time with 3 people that the Innocent Project got out because they were actually innocent. Now, I did time with 3 actual innocent people who did more than a decade in prison on crimes they didn't commit. So trust me, I have been there. For 30 plus years of my life, I've been incarcerated. So what I do is I lead by example. I give everybody an example to keep themselves from going there. Now, as far as those that are there, you know what I'm saying? Greyhound's the only one. That's why I give the attention that I do to him and to you and your cause. I'm not going there. I'm not. If you ask me a question, I'll give you. If you present me a problem, I'll give you a solution. If it's on subject. But I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to do that. Listen, I got to start Tuesday. I'm going to start one-on-one counseling with people. I got to spend an hour one-on-one doing counseling. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm out here trying to keep people from going there. I understand the conditions of confinement. You understand what I'm saying? You have to understand something. In the Rincon Miners Unit, I had them come weld metal plates over my cell and black me out for over 60 days before I snapped with nothing but boxers. I was 17 years old and had metal plates welded over my windows and put in pitch black cell because I knocked out a sergeant. So when you talk about conditions of confinement, I was 4-pointed for 9 days. At 16 years old, I was 4-pointed for 9 days, and they wouldn't let me up because of the threat that I posed to security. They would not let me out of restraints to get up and use the restroom. So I laid in a puddle of piss for 3 days until I finally figured out how to get out of the 4-point rings myself. I got myself out of them. And then I threatened, "Oh, you're gonna have to kill me, motherfucker. You're gonna come in there." So they had to give me a shower.
But they should have never been like that.
You see, look,
that's a part of the problem. That's what I'm telling you. And you're like,
you're talking about somebody who's been through those conditions of confinement. So we're talking about tablets and everything else. Come on. You know, I get when you tell me that Greyhound is being discriminated against because of his status or especially because of his race. That's different. You understand what I'm saying? I'll voice my opinion here, but I can't go there. You understand what I'm saying? I can voice my opinion here and give my advice here, but I can't go there. It's like I said, he's the only one I give that interest to. Now, I applaud you for doing it and everybody that does. You're not the only one. There's plenty of people. We have plenty of advocacy groups out here. Middle Ground's just one of them. You know what I mean? It's not like that there aren't people who fight for inmates' rights. You know, trust me, my mom, my family's went through that with me. I went through the same shit, my whole history in there. You know what I mean? You have no idea how much I had to fight to get change in there.
What were you gonna say, babe, since you're on the phone?
To get treatment for my liver and all this
Baby.
shit. I do it myself.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's that's what we're fighting for, to make it livable conditions. Like I get it, you're sentenced, but it still shouldn't be the way that they're treated. Like that's uncalled for. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're in there. So you should understand it more than anybody. But you have this attitude about it.
What I do understand that you're not understanding is you're dealing with a system of human beings, right? What you're not understanding is that you can't change a system of human beings without changing those human beings. You understand what I'm saying? Policies can be rewritten and whatnot.
But if you do nothing, nothing's going to change. Is my point.
Okay, look.
If you do nothing, nothing's going to change.
I'm gonna tell you what's not going to happen.
So make it make sense.
Look, you know what happens when inmates take a tower within 2 days, 48 hours, over 100 of them COs quit at Moore Unit. Over 100 of them couldn't do it no more over that tower being taken. We didn't see a cop for 48 hours. They brought a blue ribbon panel in to investigate that shit. They brought in a new director. They made all of these fundamental changes. Did anything change? Not a fucking thing. You know why? Because certain staff were still there and they couldn't get rid of them. You know why? Because they're understaffed as it is. The last thing that they're trying to do is get rid of staff when they don't have enough anyway. Now, it's like I explained to you before. Public safety is primary concern of corrections. Public safety, not institutional safety, nor institutional comforts. Public safety. Now, if they don't have the staff to run operations in any facility, they have to bring staff from other facilities in order to run normal functions. Now, when that's not present, and you're dealing with human beings, like I said, who have to live under the same inflated prices, the same shit that we live with out here, of course they're going to go in there and they're going to act the way they do. You understand what I'm saying? You're dealing with human beings that need to change, because you see, policies change. They got tablets, they got all this. You know what you know what many of them are saying? They don't deserve that shit. And people are overlooking this. Now, when you're talking like with Greyhound, he's doing everything in his power to change his life.
Let him talk, because he just called. Let him talk, because he just called from the phone and he doesn't have all day like we do. Go ahead, babe.
Well, I don't know what you guys were talking about.
We're just arguing about the fact that people should get involved in, and I said to get involved and stand up for you guys. And he said he doesn't do that and he wouldn't do that. So that's what we were arguing about.
Oh. Well, I used to be under that mind state at one time. When I sat in the Supermax all in years, I didn't fight it other than on paper, but the conditions of the confinement, I kind of accepted it as part of the game. You know what I mean? Like this was part of the stuff that you had to deal with. If you won't be part of that shit, you know what I mean? But later on, years later, like when I was in Illinois, now their conditions of confinement are rough.
Well,
but I don't mean on the prisoner side. When I'm talking about prisoner side, I'm talking about prison violence and gang activity and all that type of stuff. I'm talking about on the staff side and the way they house you under very restricted conditions. Now that's rough, you know what I mean? Because the other side is soft, but when it comes to the prison side, I had a toilet that didn't flush for 9 days, and I had a down-ass neighbor shotgun a Milwaukee King who fucking I was shitting in a bag, and this fool would take it and flush it in his toilet for me. You know what I mean? That's down right there, because I had a toilet that didn't flush for 9 days. They would have fixed my shit for 9 days. Because my mail was red flag to wait, so I had to wait for my mail to get out there to the street, send word to the street, to send word back to call and complain just to get my toilet fixed. And so these are things that I went through. So then I started to fight back on these things. You know what I mean? And when I mean fight back like, not just, trying to get violent with them, but hit them on paper and shit. But with the outside support is when I started to get some function. You know what I mean? But doing it by yourself, it's an uphill battle because, they lose our kites, they lose our grievances. They deny us for this, they deny us for that, and it's a big old hassle. You know what I mean? And it becomes a financial hassle on top of that too, because now we got to pay for copies, and then they make us file a lawsuit, and it's just a big ass headache. But when you had outside support to bring notice to it and put it on the spotlight, then that's when things started to change. That's when they try to quickly sweep shit under the rug, because they don't want to be exposed from the outside. So once I started having support from the outside, expose them, that's when they would try to make things happen or change things or fix something. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that everything gets fixed, everything gets taken care of, but it does bring a lot of shit to light. You know what I mean? And it does help. If you don't try it and you don't do it, you know what I mean? You can't sit there and complain that nothing works or nothing's gonna happen. This and that. You know what I mean? So that's just like in here. There'll be dudes that do certain things, and people will be like, "Oh yeah, these fools are doing this and that." Like, well, shit, that could be you. You can step up and make changes for yourself, or try to get changes done for yourself, and do this and that. And whether they let you do it or not, at least you're making an effort. You know what I mean? And then when you finally do get a chance to start doing, you know what I mean, then you can start trying to push for others like you and get others like you involved in the shit, so that now you got like-minded individuals with you, and then you can get shit done. You know what I mean? But you can't knock shit if you ain't never trying to do shit.
But the outside helping you guys makes the difference, even if it's just one voice, two voices here or there. But it's sad that you got to try to convince people to fucking help you. You know what I mean?
I've always had that in my time in there. I've always had people to call and people to go down there, people to do that for me. And I've had,
but not everybody has that. That's the shitty part.
It's like with Little Spider. I was the one who had my people call to get him out of SMU after they all beat that case with Gremlin. I was the one who got him out of there. There's a lot of times that I used my resources to get things done in there for other people. So I know the value of all that. You're talking about a 30+ year veteran at the shit. But my point is that me personally, that's not where I'm at in life. You see what I'm saying? I give it to Greyhound and you here and now, or whenever you call and text or whatever you need done on mine, what I can do in that part. I play my part, but I'm not going to stand in front. I'm not going to do that. I don't listen. Like I said, I got family there. I don't talk to them when they're in there. I talked to my nephew one time while he was in prison. And that's because we were having a gathering at the house and his dad just so happened to be there when he called. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's like we make those decisions for ourselves. You know what I mean? But, you know, I get the reforms that need to be done in there. There's a lot that needs to be done. And that was the thing once I went to the PC is how much I actually fought for change and how much change I, with others, got done in there. Like I literally wrote programs. I co-authored programs that are still mandatory in there. You know what I mean? You know, I was one of the ones that pushed for the town hall meetings. I was one of the ones who pushed for the fucking fundraisers. I was one of the ones who was leading the forefront on the dietary changes. I was the one who was in there doing all that shit. So trust me, I know. I completely understand from all facets.
I'm gonna read a couple of these comments, Vic, because we haven't been reading them at all. But it says Ramon said, "The way of the world, my brothers." Boogie Loke said, "What up, OG?"
What up, Boogie Lokes?
So what up, OG? And then Alexander said, "That's how the Maury toilets were when I went for quarantine. They were all fucked up, out of shape, all fucked out of shape."
Yeah, we should.
And then Alexander also asked you, babe. He said, "Hey, Greyhound, does the commissary store up there have the same shit that we all have down in Arizona?"
Different shit varies. I think for the most part, yeah. But different shit varies. You know what I mean? Arizona has some stuff that they don't have out here. Same thing when I was in Illinois. Arizona, I seen they had sent me a commissary slip from SMU2, and SMU2 had a million things more than our Supermax did out there. And there's stuff on the commissary that they didn't have at all. They had better quality shit in Arizona than they did in Illinois. So some stuff is the same, some stuff is a little different, and then the quality changes.
You want to read that comment, Daniel?
My tia would tell us, all of you can't do the time, you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Without no disrespect to my gente doing time, it stuck with me and some of my primos. Shout out to Lil Rocky. Yeah, I mean, that's
So
we've all
misconception.
We've all
Cool.
heard that
It's
shit,
not
though.
time.
We've all heard that shit.
Yeah,
We've all
but
heard that shit.
there's a difference, though. There's a difference between doing time and being treated like shit.
Like, look, okay.
Like, that's what everybody doesn't get.
This is how I see it. Greyhound can handle his own, like he explained, right? And he's been through some fucked up positions. Like, that's where, when I got out, it's the first thing, because I looked him up, and I stumbled upon his writings, and I looked up where he was and everything, and I seen the conditions of his confinement, and I felt fucked up. Like, it really, really, really bothered me, right? But I know he can handle it. And he, you know, he dealt with it. He got through it.
Well, why should he have to? Why should he have to? He was sentenced to time. Yes, he wasn't sentenced to be treated like shit. He wasn't sentenced to not have a toilet. Like that don't make sense.
Listen, that's what you think. That's not what everyone thinks. You're forgetting that. Now, listen, when it comes to how the families get treated, the way the families get done, that bothers me. That bothers me more so than the petty shit that they do to the inmates in there, because the shit is petty. But when you're dealing with conditions of confinement where you got to shit in a bag, now that's some shit to be concerned. That's different. That's fucked up. When you're fucking 16 years old and you're pointed to a fucking bunk, that's fucked up. Listen, I had to shower butt ass naked while they're fucking had me on camera. All I had was one hand free. When they finally came to let me up, because I got under my shit, I was on camera being fucking filmed in the shower at 16 years old with restraints on, and these motherfuckers watching me in the county jail. Now,
but what does that have to do with doing time?
listen, it's
Do you
part
get what
of
I'm saying?
it's
That don't have
all
shit to do
part-
with no.
all
No.
part of doing
No.
time. Those of us who've done
No.
time understand
No, it's
exactly
not. That it shouldn't be. That's the problem. That's
There
the
shouldn't be- listen.
problem. That's not a part of doing time. When you get sentenced, you're not sitting here thinking, oh, you're sentenced to even 2 years. You're sentenced to 2 years. You're sentenced to be treating like shit. You're sentenced to not having a working toilet. You're like, no, dude, that don't even make any sense.
Do you
Like,
understand
I don't care
that
what you
each-
say
listen,
about,
do
oh,
you
you're
understand
doing
that-
like
listen.
other people.
Do you understand that every facility on each complex is very different? Do you get that? That the way one prison is ran is different from the next prison in every state?
No
All
shit.
of them. And I'm talking about
But
just in
that's not
Colorado.
that's not what
It's
it
like-
is. That's not
look,
what doing time
look,
is supposed to be.
Look, it's like you pointed out. He was at another prison that was different. He's at another prison that's different. He goes to another run in the same unit. It's different. Right?
Okay, so what's
Why?
your point?
Why?
It's still not supposed. That shouldn't be
Because
normal. That's
the
not what doing
staff-
time is.
Because of the staff. Right? Now, the treatment of the family.
But you keep saying that's doing time. That's not what it is. When you go to court and you get sentenced, that's not what you're sentenced to. You get a sentence. Yes, you go to jail or prison, but they don't tell you, oh, okay, well, we're gonna take human rights shit away from you. Like what? And you're like, that's normal. That's a part of doing. No, it's not. It should have never been.
Okay, so explain
That's
to
what
me
you're
how
not getting.
Okay, look, explain to all of us how time should be
Okay,
in prison. Explain it to me.
So doing time should be he doesn't have a toilet. Like the shit, you don't even
no,
know half
no,
the
no,
shit
no,
my
no,
husband's
no,
been
no,
through in
no, no,
Illinois.
no,
Like
stop.
it's not normal shit.
No. Give me, listen, tell me how it should be.
I'm not saying it should be roses. Who says that it should be like that?
Okay.
Why is that normal? Ask yourself that.
Okay. See, that's the
You're
issue
trying to
there.
make it seem like it's normal. That should be
It's
good.
normal.
That's what it is. That's not what the fuck
Obviously
it's
normal.
supposed to be.
But how is it supposed to be?
Dr. Chavez said, like, you're pissing me off, dude, at the end of the day, because you're contradicting yourself going back and forth, and then you're
How
trying to
is
make
it
me seem like
supposed
I'm
to
stupid,
be?
like you're fucking crazy.
How
It's
is
not
it
supposed to be treated like dogs and talked to fuked up.
Well, we get
So
treated
you
like that out
you
here.
expect to
What
go
are
to
you
prison
talking
and be
about?
talked to like you're a fucking dog?
We
and
get
treated
that
like a dog?
treatment out here. How is prison
It
supposed
should. That's
to
what I'm
be?
saying. It shouldn't be that. It
How
shouldn't be
is
that.
it supposed to be? Okay, listen. When you file a grievance, anywhere you go, and he can tell you this, when you file a grievance, you have to propose a solution. What do you want done?
So right now, what they're doing is they're trying to train their staff to get back to what's called normalization. He said humanization, which is what it should be. But that's what we're fighting for. So what's so fucking funny about that?
Human beings that work there. You really think that a racist person is going to change because this motherfucker said something? No, it's never happened. Yes, people are going to continue to fight. And yes, people are going to continue to file lawsuits, which are going to be the most effective at getting change. The changes we see come from lawsuits. You know, the rest of it is just pacification, and we understand that. Look, a change will occur until staff start changing, and then it's going to go downhill fast. They make all these changes, and then you start seeing shit just going downhill. It's an ebb and flow in that motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? But when you tell me that you're being subject to searches, going in there and they're picking you out and shit like that, that's fucked up. That shouldn't be done. That's an issue that needs to be addressed. When Greyhound is being harassed for a status that shouldn't exist there, you know what I mean? When he's trying to demonstrate that he's doing good, he should be given every opportunity to do that. Now, when you talk about what's lacking in the system as far as programming to help people or whatever, that's different. Listen, people's attitudes are going to be people's attitudes. They treat we get treated fucked up out here in this world. Like I've been in, like
I know. But that's what I'm saying. Like everybody chalks it up. Everybody chalks that shit up to that's normal. Like, why is that normal? That shouldn't be fucking normal. That's my point. Dr. Chaplin said, I think I said his name wrong. Anyways, it may not be what they should be put through, but it comes with the territory. And I get that. But everybody keeps saying like that's normal. But why is that normal? Why is it okay to be normal?
Everybody is going to tell you the same thing, dude. Yeah, that's serious.
Go ahead, babe.
And I get where you're coming from. Trust me, it's not like we don't care.
For years, myself,
What, babe?
like I said, for years myself accepted it as normal. You know what I mean? It took, and I get through it, and I still go through it. But it took me years to open my eyes and see that it's not normal. That that it's not something that's acceptable, and it's not something that's part of the game. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong; it is part of the game when you're involved in this shit. These are the consequences and the horrors that we're subject to. It's not right. It's not what should be acceptable. But these are our realities we go through. But later on, it became something that I didn't accept as being part of my norm that I should have to accept. You know what I mean? Then I started to fight and buck against those things. You know what I mean? That I shouldn't have to live without a toilet. I shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? Like you said, when I got sentenced to natural life in the Department of Corrections. That's it. That was my sentence. Natural life in the Department of Corrections, not natural life to be oppressed, to be prodded, to be tortured, to live under fucked up conditions of confinement. None of that. That wasn't part of my sentence. You know what I mean? There was a time where I accepted the bullshit that came with that sentence. You know what I mean? But it's not what I was sentenced to. So when people do say, you shouldn't do the crime if you can't do the time, and I can get that. But that term applies to those people who can't take responsibility for their shit. You know what I mean? Just like, for example, you got motherfuckers that we get into these rats, right? Me and this dude, we're both grown ass men. We're both we understand consequences. And we both decide that we're gonna go do an armed robbery. You know what I mean? We know what the consequences are. We know what's wrong and everything. But when we get caught, this fool don't want to go to jail. He don't want to deal with the consequences. So then he tells on me so that he can get off and he don't have to be punished and pay the consequences for his actions. You know what I mean? That's somebody who shouldn't do the crime if he can't do the time. You know what I mean? I take responsibility for mine. You know what I mean? So when somebody says that, they can't apply that to everybody. You know, because then you can't get upset when an individual like myself who becomes callous. And I know I'm a criminal. I know what I'm about. I know what I do. You know what I mean? So then don't get sad when I kill your people and I got no remorse for you because, hey, I meant to do the crime and I'm down to do the time. So I don't care if your daddy got killed, got his brains blown out. It is what it is. It's part of the game. But that's how we think. But I understand the consequences and I'm willing to take them consequences. You know what I mean? So people got to understand the shoe goes on both feet. You know what I'm saying? You want me to do the time? Well, you got to understand that I accept my crime as well. So, you know what I mean? When you put it out there, you got to understand it's a two-way street. But I've always, from day one, I've taken responsibility for my actions and take responsibility and take my crime. You know what I mean? I've never had to take the easy way out and point at somebody so that they can get the time. I'm the only one who does time for my crime.
Right. See, that's what I was saying. It's like the thing that bothers me about with you is that I know how much you're trying to change, bro, and I know that you deserve that opportunity. You don't deserve to be fucked with in the fashion that they do. You understand what I'm saying? It speaks to what you were saying in the beginning. It's like, you know, yeah, you can accept it, like I said, but you should be given every opportunity to grow, to better yourself, even though you're doing natural life. That shouldn't be reason to deny you any opportunity to fucking educate yourself and to, you know what I mean, become productive in life, because you're still a valuable person to us out here. You know what I mean? You can still reach us out here and speak to us out here.
Did you read my Phantom Souls piece that I wrote?
The one that's online?
There's the few
Yeah.
online.
Yeah. I think yes. And
Yeah,
you have
so
it
look,
now?
so and that's what I was talking about. There's both of us.
Yeah, but if you
What?
look up his name, if you just look up his name on Google
Yeah.
or Bing
That's
or
what-
whatever, it'll come up.
Yeah.
It comes up because it was
I'll
published.
read it. I'm gonna check it again. I
wrote this essay talking about it called Phantom Souls, right? And I talk
Right.
about that. I talk about doing a long sentence and not being able to have the opportunity to make changes, to be deprived of these things, and so therefore we become worse people in prison. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we become the infection that passes on this infection to these other people when they fail to allow us growth. They fail to allow us to make changes for ourselves. You know what I mean? When we're just like anybody else who can change, who can make these changes, and who seek them kind of changes. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, there's some people that just incorrigible. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. But so like for me, when I take classes and shit, you know what I mean? I always make it clear that I don't have no parole date. I don't have no clemency. I don't do that. I do this for me. I do this to better me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I do this for me. This ain't for no parole, no clemency, no nothing, because I don't have none of that. So when I'm taking these classes, these self-help classes or whatever, I'm doing that to better Greyhound. You know what I mean? To tighten up on this, to make me a better person. You know what I mean? Which has nothing to do with anybody else, because it's not for anybody else. So all the certificates that I done got, that was for me. You know what I mean? And later on, if something happens in courts or whatever, you know what I mean? It happens. But the things that I did, they have been for me. You know what I mean? So people don't see that the things that we do for ourselves. You know what I mean? They only see the negative. You know,
Right.
and that's fine. I don't mind. You know what I mean? When people do that and then they speak that you can't don't do the crime type shit. You know what I mean? But they don't see what's deeper than that. You know? So I don't ever trip on none of that. You know what I mean? Because I know who I am. I know where I'm going. I know where I'm not going. I know who I'm not, and I know who I'm never ever going to be. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people, they don't even know who they are. You know what I mean? They don't even know where they're going. They don't know nothing about themselves. Me, at least I know that. I know that about me. I know what I'm doing for me, and what's gonna be me. You know what I mean? Today, tomorrow, and the next day.
See, that's why, like, when
You wanna
I
read
look
these
at you
comments?
now, I think about like how far you've come, right? Because I know you then. I was there with you then. You understand what I'm saying? So I know exactly how far you've come. And when I sit here and I interact and I talk to you and everything, for me personally, I feel like you deserve to be out here now. Like, I feel that you would do a lot of good. You know what I mean? Like, you learned your lesson. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that ultimately is your thing, is that you've learned your lesson. So you're, like you say, you're trying to do what's best for you. Everything's about doing right by you. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's an example of someone who will succeed out here. You see what I'm saying? Who does deserve a chance. You know what I mean? Whether in there or out here, you deserve the chance to become all that you can be, as they say in the Army. You know what I'm saying? You truly do. And I don't think that the system should be set in play to prevent you from whatever growth or whatever aspirations you have in life. You know what I mean? Because this is the thing, especially if you're in there for natural life as your sentence stands today, you know what I mean? Then you would think that the system would want people like yourself, give them every opportunity to grow so that they can reach others in there, you know what I mean, and keep peace, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Be able to get the youngsters to see a different way, you know what I mean? Be able to inspire them to educate themselves and to do something. Because when you're looking at somebody who's doing natural life and never getting out, and then you see that he walks a straight line, he's doing what's best for him, he's standing like a man, he ain't no salad, he ain't no punk, he ain't none of that, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, he's going to school, he's educating himself, he's involving himself in all the programming, you know what I mean? Like, you deserve the opportunity to grow. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I always say about college, like, you should be able to take college courses, dude. Like, you should be able to educate yourself as to whatever degree you want to, because for you to do that, you become a productive person in there. You know what I mean? And you have outreach out here via what we're doing right now, so you can reach people out here with that. You know what I mean? And that's the thing where, like, you know, people want to hear that. People want to hear good. You know what I mean? Because, like, we could go anywhere on any channel and hear all the bullshit, but to hear somebody like yourself who comes from where you come from and doing the time that you're doing, to see that you know you're trying to do what's right. You know what I mean? And you're preaching that, you're teaching that shit. You know what I mean? You're trying to get people to know themselves and to know where they come from and know who they are. And you know what I mean? You're an inspirational person. And a light like that should be set up on a hill. It shouldn't be buried. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be covered up. That light should be like a beacon that's bright to guide ships in. It shouldn't be, you know what I mean, buried in the ground like, you know, they got you and shit, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I feel you 100%, bro. And listen, Naomi, I really appreciate your fight for him, because I don't and I can't. You understand what I'm saying? I'm in my place trying to do for me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I got a great struggle myself for me when my days are occupied with what I got. Like,
It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating when people think like that.
Listen,
it's just frustrating when people think like that, because it's like, well, he went to prison, he should be treated any which way, and no, that's not right. They shouldn't be treated any which way. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it should be roses and fucking playgrounds and Disneyland.
Nobody should have to go through that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing about corrections. Is like, you know, and it's one of those things where, like, now ADCs changed their whole ADC, RX, AYZ, because they got a whole different mentality. And yes, it takes a lot of effort from a lot of people, and it takes time to make those changes. It's like now here in this prison system in Arizona is so weak now. You know what I mean? It's not what it was when we came in. They have a lot more advantages than they ever did. You know what I mean? And it's all a progression in time. You know what I mean? Like, it all, you know, that's why what you do is valuable. Don't think that I'm downplaying what you do. I'm just saying for myself, I'm thinking for me. And I'm not like, I wish there was more people with you. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that I'm trying to deduct from that. No, I would love nothing more than for you to have those people there to do that. That's just not my role. My role is here and now. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
There's this so that I did time with out in Illinois. He's a Simon City Royal named Mousy, Brian Nelson. He did an interview in Rolling Stone magazine, and he talked about his time in the Supermax and shit, right? But me and him, we were involved in 100 strikes and shit like that when we were in towns and shit. And he's the one that inspired me to want to make changes for myself, to better me while I was in there. You know what I mean? Even though my future had no light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? And even though we were locked down, that and the shit that we were going through, that we didn't have to accept that and stuff. So I always credit him with, you know what I mean, inspire me to want to make that change for me, and then wanting to fight back the system for the shit that they imposed on me and not accept it as my norm. And he's a paralegal for the Uptown People Law Center out in Chicago and shit, working with Alan Mills and them, and he's a good dude, man. We did a lot of time in the box locked down together, fighting the struggle and shit. But that was somebody that because at first I was like, shit, we're just here, you know what I mean? What the fuck I need to do all this for? You know what I mean? It ain't gonna do nothing for me. I ain't getting out and all this and that, you know what I mean? And then I started doing it. It was something for me, man. It was something to empower me, to better me. You know what I mean? And some stuff helps, some stuff doesn't. But it's knowledge and new materials that I got to learn, and just straighten my mind out. You know what I mean? And better me as a person. And so now I push it out there. You know what I mean? And it's shit that I teach my kids. It's shit that I regurgitate that I learned. You know what I mean? And that I'm proud of. No matter what it does for me down the line, legally or whatever, you know what I mean? It's just something that I'm proud of being able to do for myself. And that's what got me deep into my writings and shit too. Doing poetry, doing my essays, and just speaking my mind and shit, and just talking. And I love to write.
Do you want to read these comments so people don't think we're ignoring them? Start with this.
Alexander, no, man, I love you guys, man. I can listen to you all day. You guys are some real ones. Free Greyhound. He says, man, too much. It's not normal, but some of us think from some of the backgrounds we come from, we think that shit is normal. It's like we adapted. Yeah, and that's one of the things like he's speaking on. It's like we come to accept it as the norm when it's not. I mean, we know it's not the norm when we're going through it, but it becomes so impossible to break free from that. We have no choice but to accept it as the norm. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, advocates like yourself,
and that's what I mean. Like everybody says, that's what it's about.
Yeah, no, I get that, Chuck. Like that was never the point of what I was saying. I'm speaking for me personally. There's, you know what I mean? Like this is the thing. It's like this conversation, right? It's very
just frustrating because I get.
I mean, look, what's frustrating to me is when you talk about these women that are fighting each other online, when like you have a common cause, especially with your men in prison. Like there should be a consensus, a consolidation of those forces that push forward instead of the bickering back and forth and the bullshit over nothing, and sitting there trying to fuck with each other's man and using this as an opportunity to be the most scandalous hoes that you are. Not you, but you know what I'm saying? Some of these females on there, whatever. Yeah, that's, to me, that's a problem because, that's where I got the support that I got was from my mom and, women, females. That's where I got from. No one like myself was going to make no calls to do no shit for me. No, there were no man, none. We're going to make no calls to do a motherfucking thing for me. You understand what I'm saying? Are there? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of men that are involved with advocacy groups and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it's very valuable. But as I said, like, those people in those groups need to understand their place and what their purpose is and what they're doing. Because it sounds to me like a lot of it is just for show. They're just there to tell them, man, they involve some shit they really ain't doing. You know what I mean? But when you have that and you can build up people together like that and show a force, then it matters because those voices resonate. It's one thing when it's one person
Thank you
You
for
know, what I mean?
using
It's different when that one is
Securus.
100.
But that's
You know
what
what I'm
it takes. It takes one person to open their mouth and start having other people get involved and help out. But if you think like, I'm just not going to say nothing, I'm just going to stay out of it, then nothing's ever going to change. Like, yes, it's an uphill battle. It's definitely a fucking uphill battle, but it's not right. And that thinking of it's normal shouldn't be. That's what we're fighting against. Like, that's not, no, it's an uphill battle, but it's a battle nonetheless.
I mean, that's
And with people being like, I'm not going to get involved and it's this and it's that. That's what's fucking frustrating to me. Because it's like,
it's something that like,
I
it's
think
something
even if
that
my
even our
husband,
legislators understand. Like everybody understands the need for prison reform, justice reform. Like it's something that's often preached about by politicians and all this other shit. How we get there is the complicated issue. Because listen, okay, not everyone in there is Greyhound. Not everyone in there doing natural life is Greyhound, and that thinks the way he does and is doing the best that he can for himself. You know what I mean? Not everyone is like that, and it don't even matter if they're doing life. Motherfucker could be doing 1 year, and that motherfucker can be the worst of a kind. You see what I'm saying? The most predatory, cutthroat, backstabbing type of motherfucker that you have to concern yourself with. You see what I'm saying? That everybody's got to concern themselves with. And the problem with prison is that there's a significant number of people that are like that are never going to be rehabilitated. They're never going to be corrected. They're never going to come out of that shit. You see what I'm saying? They're always going to victimize people. They're always going to prey upon people. They're never going to change. And that speaks to the public safety issue. When I'm giving you an insight to how these motherfuckers think. You see what I'm saying? And so that's always their issue, is that they're like they always say that shit. One motherfucker can fuck it up for everybody, and we know that shit. You know what I mean? And that's the fucked up part about it, because it's like, how do you separate the wheat from the chaff in prison? You see what I'm saying? You can create specific buildings that are honor buildings or whatever. Like in California, they have what's called prison land. You see what I'm saying? You know, there's a lot of adjustments that can be made in the system to reward people that really want to do what's right. You know what I'm saying? Because this demonstrates rehabilitation. You know what I mean? This shows that there's something that's working, and that you know what, if it's working, then we should expand upon that. You see what I'm saying? Where you got people like Greyhound that come, like, dude, anyone with his history that's come as far as he has is worth that consideration. You see what I'm saying? He's worth being heard. You know what I'm saying? And understood that he can make sense of some shit being there. You feel what I'm saying? But the problem is that it's like you said, he said the same thing. It's like we're just seen by the negative. It don't matter what good we do in there. And it's the same. I face that shit out here. Like, it don't matter what good I aspire to do. I'm always plagued by my past, and it's something that fucks me up. You see what I'm saying? But prison reform is something that, like I said, I've been, my whole life in that shit, and I've seen how far it's come and how much it's changed over these decades. You know what I mean? Like, it's far different. Greyhound knows that. I mean, he knows he got it easy in there for the most part, as far as conditions of confinement. Now, the restrictions of confinement, as far as
but it took how many years? He's been down 25. Listen, he's been down 25 years. 20 of those years was in hell. The last 5 years that he's been out here has been decent. You know what I mean? But you guys get to see what he gets now. But for 20 years, it wasn't like that for him. For 20, can you imagine that for 20 fucking years?
No, listen, I get it.
Like, you get to hear the good stuff that he's getting to do now.
I listened to Greyhound, like the last time we were on here, I listened to him and how excited he was. He was like a big old fucking kid, and it felt good to me. Cause like he's got things that mean something to him. Now he can see, he ain't shitting in the bag no more.
So, and that's the misconception. Like everybody's like, yeah, he just got a PlayStation, but not everybody in there gets it. You have to get to the incentive unit to get that, and you literally have to go through how to get there. Once you get there, and I brought this up to them in the meeting, I was like, why do you have COs and lieutenants working these units that tell them straight up, I don't believe in this unit. You guys don't deserve this shit. You shouldn't have it. This shouldn't be a thing.
That's
and he
a problem.
stood up. The director was like, and that's what they talked about. So, but if we didn't bring that up, he would have never known that that was going on. So if we didn't sit there in these meetings and we tell them what the hell is happening, how's it, if you don't know what's happening, how are you?
And see, and this is the thing.
Something. You get what I'm saying? And that's where we come in, why it's important for us to come in and talk.
Before they do that, they already know who is in agreement and who's not in agreement with it. Those cops already voiced their opinions when they amongst themselves are talking about what's about to hit the fan. So they already know.
Hey, that's amongst themselves, though. They're not sitting there. They're not sitting there with the executive director and the warden telling them this shit. So if we don't tell them what's being done in those units and what's happening, they're not never going to know. And a wife stood up in the middle of the meeting. She was like, hey, she was like, tell the director, the executive director of prisons. She told him, can't you see by what we're saying and what the wardens are saying that there's an obvious disconnect between you and your staff and the families?
They know that.
There's a disconnect. Like you guys as staff that run all this shit, that call these policies, you're not seeing that there's a disconnect between you and your staff when it comes to shit like this. You don't understand
there's a simple
what we
solution.
as families go through with these staff members and these lieutenants and these sergeants.
There's a simple solution that I was getting to. The point that I was making is that they know who is in agreement, who's not in agreement before they even do the program. So before they do the program, those staff that are already voicing their concerns in the fashion that they're voicing it to them should automatically be disqualified from working those programs. They should vet those staff members before they do those things. So what I'm telling you is a solution. So next time you go in there, propose that solution to them, right? So that's one solution.
Well, I'm sending him an email about it anyway. So.
Is that
hey, baby,
those staff they need to find staff who more or less agree with it, because otherwise it's gonna be a problem.
Put the electricity and get some shit down before I go to work. So after this call, he still got like 12 minutes on this call, and then I need you to call me right back because I gotta talk to you about something. We're gonna end the live because I got to get ready for work and I need to relax because you got me all pissed off and worked up. It's not funny.
Correction does.
Really, babe? You're proud of that?
Well, I'm just saying that's my boy. I mean,
pinch your nose.
They don't call him bad boy for nothing.
They're gonna call him Black Eye Daniel here in a minute. He's fucking making me mad.
Why?
Pissed me off. I literally wanted to punch you through this screen, dude. Like you were pissing me off a little while ago.
I'm giving you solutions to your problems, and you're mad at me for giving you.
No, earlier you were talking shit. You were talking shit earlier. And you could see when I was getting mad. Just read the comments.
I'm not going there regardless.
You were talking shit.
I'm not going there regardless.
I just want to make an announcement that I'm happy because the other day they took our PlayStations to check them for porn, and I got mine returned just right now, so I'm back in the game. I'm a normal person.
You're so dumb. He's so fucking extra, dude. You should have seen him in his deli yesterday, and I was like, you guys are fucking dramatic. You barely had those PlayStations like 2 months and you act like you're gonna die.
Hey,
like grow up. There's a DVD there.
That makes me happy, man. Like that makes me happy to hear him like that. It does too. It really, really does. Like
it shouldn't, because he began himself in trouble with his wife.
Oh, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's a whole different.
I'm just
It sounds like everybody got a problem with the wife.
so since you want
It seems like we're all getting beat up by the wife today.
I can hold my own. Trust me, I can hold my own. I don't give no fucks. I can hold my own when it comes to anything.
I'm saying,
I don't really care.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that because Greyhound needs that. He needs a rider like you. He needs a fighter like you. He needs you. Man, listen. I give you.
Yeah, but I get so mad. Like I want to put my hands on somebody. You don't understand.
Listen, I'm putting you above myself because I'm telling you I ain't going there. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you the greatest consideration to that. You're doing good. I pray. Listen,
I'm giving you consideration.
I'm dead ass serious.
Serious. Straight up, dude. Like I got so pissed off earlier.
Hey, listen.
I was ready to fight. Okay.
I greatly appreciate that. I know he does. I know he appreciates it even more.
Read that comment. So we keep missing Ramon.
I don't want to read no comment. What do you say? In the time of Jesus, you get beheaded. We lucky to have any rights. Shit, they cut Lovey's hair and beat him. That's what I'm saying. You're just drawing back to the same thing. I seen that comment earlier.
I know, but that's not right.
Yeah, we moved past that. Greyhound already
about the law.
Greyhound already spoke to that. I didn't want to go back to that. I didn't want to, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, right.
Well, we didn't read any of these comments. Then Ramon said, "Free on my gente." It's just because we haven't been reading on these comments. And then Alexander said, "My baby mama fucked my cousin and had a kid by him. Look at me, I'm good while I was in prison."
I went to the Dear Johns too.
Sorry to hear that. Bitches are.
That's
the thing. Like bitches get on here and they're like, "Oh, it's really dirty," and they're scandalous and shit. But girls are just the fucking same. Like it goes both ways. Bitches are scandalous too.
Bitches ain't shit but
Alexander also said, "What is the difference between SMU 1 and SMU 2, babe?"
2 extra cells.
SMU 1 is predominantly all seg, and then it has PC lock up there for the renouncers, and as IPS and voluntary segregation, protected segregation area. SMU 2 originally was just all STG. Now you got you have some seg there, you got ethanol there, and then you got pending STG, and then those that are leaving that didn't get STG.
Okay. And then Alexander said, "I would love to hear Greyhound in Daniel's story." And then he said, "Greyhound, Naomi, Daniel, thank you for this live, man. It's always good to get some good shit off of you guys, man. Much love and respect." He would drive me crazy to have a conversation with him because he says "man" a lot. My husband pisses me off when he says "what." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I was like, "Stop saying that shit." And then now he says, "What do you say now? Go ahead and say it one time."
That don't even make no sense.
No, not that one.
Make it make sense.
No, he says, "What's the stupid song you've been singing?" Dude, like if I can stick my hand through the phone and just.
If you don't believe me, just watch.
It's annoying. Like I'll be having a conversation with him and he'll say, "If you don't believe me," and I was like, "Why? Why?
Hey,
Why?"
That's a good saying.
It's still not every other word. Like every conversation we have, he's like, "Don't believe me," and I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! Shut up! I don't believe you, and I'm not looking."
Just watch.
I love him, dude, but he sometimes just And he does it on purpose. Like he knows I'm aggravated. And instead of trying to help me, like he'll aggravate me more. And it's like, I don't need that from you. I need you to help me. I don't need you to aggravate me more, dude. Like I just don't. I'll talk to you later.
I know how he is. Listen, he just do the same shit to me. I'm dead
He
ass
does it
serious.
to everybody. Secondly,
Greyhound do the same shit to me, the same annoying shit. I can't remember like the little things he used to do, but exactly what you're saying, that's how he is. Like, you know, it's one of those things that I learned.
I know I listen to you, and I
like because sometimes he be
I love him, but I don't have to love everything about him. Listen, there's times to play and joke around and try to break the tenseness or the irritation, but he does it sometimes at the worst fucking moments. It's like it's been 20 something years for us, dude. Like you should know how I am at this point. Like I need you to be a comfort for me. I need you to be like somebody I just bitch to. I don't need you to be like, oh, don't believe me, just watch. What? I'm trying to have a fucking conversation with you. Like, stop doing that.
Don't believe me, just watch.
It's aggravating, dude. Like, you don't understand. I love this man to death, but I'm
don't believe me, just watch.
And then when we're at visit and I pinch his nose or I do something to him, he gets all, what did you do that for? I'm like, you already know, dude. Like, I remember everything he pissed me off this whole week for. There you go.
And he forgot.
Yeah, and he forgot. He's like, what? I didn't do nothing. I'm perfect. I didn't do nothing.
Yeah. That's too funny.
Ridiculous.
That's just
it's not funny.
Yes, it is.
Girls don't like that. Like, I get aggravated.
I didn't like to see when he did it to me.
He'll make me so mad sometimes. I'm like, I'll tell you later.
I just learned to do the shit back to him.
No, because when I get mad, dude, that's my thing. Like I stood up in that meeting and I got pissed off. Like when I was talking to him about accountability, and he was like, "Oh, I want to talk to you afterwards." And I'm like, "All right, bet." And so afterwards, like he pulled me aside and we started talking. And I'm talking about the executive director of prisons, and we started talking. I told him, "I'm sorry that I got so angry." I was like, "But it's just simply not true that you're holding them accountable." You know what I mean? And when I get upset, like, and my husband knows that when I get upset, I don't know how to control that when I'm that mad. Like I just, even if I shut up, you'll see it all over my face. Like I just can't. Like if I'm mad, you're going to know I'm mad, whether I'm saying something or I'm not.
Yeah.
No.
Got to take a different tack in
I got
life.
subtitles.
You gotta take a different tack in life. Like, listen, okay, just for future reference, when you deal with those people and you go in there, if you're gonna deal with any accountability issues, don't bring it up in front of everybody. Don't do it. Bring it up aside, like he did with you. Do it like that and present it with respect. You'll get a lot further because that's one thing.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I'm not even the one that brought it up. One of the wives brought it up and she started talking and he tried to blame it on the facility. And I chimed in. I was like, it's in all facilities. It's not just her facility. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I got up and said something. And I was like, you don't hold them accountable, because she asked him about that. And then that's when I gave him the example of what happened to my husband. And he was like, we'll talk, I'll pull you aside and talk afterwards. That's what I'm saying. Like these meetings, for the people that are following my pages, that's why it's so important to show up to these meetings, because they can't just push you to the side and not answer you. They have to give you some kind of answer because you're in their face. Yeah.
And oftentimes, this is another thing too. Like oftentimes you're going to get a reactionary answer. You got to keep that in mind. You're going to get a reactionary answer, especially when they're posed a question that stumps them like that. You know what I mean? Obviously a warden don't visit a unit, but how often? You see what I'm saying? So, okay, one thing you got to figure out and find out maybe through them is okay, so how are they being held
You have
accountable?
what?
Have them explain it, right? And he'll say he did. They're gonna tell you whatever, but okay. So what are the consequences of your staff disrespecting the inmates or whatever? Like what happens? They're gonna get dock pay? No. You understand what I'm saying? Are they gonna get reassigned? Not likely.
Yeah.
Only
We're gonna
industry
end this.
does that.
There's only a minute left on my husband's call. But we're gonna
Go
end
ahead.
this, Daniel, because I gotta get ready for work. So go ahead, babe.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Tune in next week. Same bad channel, same bad time.
Thank you everybody for joining our live and interacting with us. I appreciate it. Thank you, Daniel, even though you made me want to choke you out.
You sound, hey, you sound like my mom will. You
That raw 100.
Have a good evening, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Thank you for using
Married Life for
Securus. Goodbye.
Yeah.